We live in an era of digital panhandling. Every day, billions of people wake up and start begging. They do not beg for money, they beg for something far more addictive, a like, a follow, or a nod of approval from a stranger they will never meet. We have turned our social lives into a relentless quest for a thumbs up, and we call it staying connected. But if we look at this behavior through the clinical, unblinking eyes of Abraham Maslow, we see it for what it truly is. It is a profound psychological disability. It is a self-imposed handicap that keeps you crawling at the base of the pyramid while the summit remains hidden in the clouds. Stay with me, because we are about to dismantle the comfort of your social cages. We are going to explore why your hunger for validation is the very thing keeping you weak, and why the moment you stop caring what they think is the moment you finally start to walk. To understand the weight of this disability, we have to look at the third and fourth levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, belongingness and esteem. For the average person, these are deficiency needs or D needs. They function exactly like hunger or thirst. When you lack food, your stomach screams. When you lack validation, your ego screams. You feel empty, hollow, and invisible. To stop the screaming, you perform. You post the perfect photo, you say the right thing in the meeting, and you mimic the opinions of the crowd. Shutterstock explorer. This is what Maslow called deficiency motivation. You are not acting, you are reacting. You are a biological machine seeking a fix of social dopamine to prove that you exist. But here is the acidic truth. As long as your sense of self is built on the opinions of others, you are psychologically disabled. You have outsourced your identity to a committee of idiots. You have given the keys to your happiness to people who do not even know their own minds. Maslow made a crucial distinction that most people choose to ignore. He divided the need for esteem into two separate categories. The lower form is the desire for reputation, prestige, and status, the things that come from the outside. The higher form is the need for self-respect, competence, and mastery, the things that come from the inside. Most of society is stuck in the lower basement. They are validation junkies, chasing a reputation that could vanish with a single wrong word. This is a disability because it makes you fragile. If your worth is defined by others, then those others have the power to destroy you at any moment. You are constantly walking on eggshells, scanning the room to see if you are still liked. You are so busy being what they want you to be that you have completely forgotten who you actually are. When you are addicted to validation, you are suffering from what Maslow described as a lack of autonomy. You are environmentally dependent. If the environment gives you a gold star, you feel great. If the environment ignores you, you wither. This is not the life of a self-actualized human being. It is the life of a well-trained circus animal. You have traded your potential for a pat on the head. But what happens when you reach the top? What happens when you move from demotivation to being motivation? Maslow studied the peak performers of the human race, the self-actualizers. He found that their most defining characteristic was their independence of culture and environment. They were not immune to criticism, but they were indifferent to it. Their sense of worth was rooted in their own being values: truth, beauty, wholeness, and excellence. A self-actualized person does not need your validation because they have something far more powerful: self-knowledge. They are not seeking to be someone in your eyes. They are busy being themselves. This is the difference between a person who is psychologically whole and a person who is psychologically disabled. The whole person is a creator. The disabled person is a performer. Let us be brutally honest about the Jonah complex, that deep-seated fear we all have of our own greatness. One of the primary reasons you stay at the base of the pyramid is because greatness is lonely. If you stop seeking validation, you might lose your friends. If you stop following the trends, you might be mocked. You use your need for validation as an excuse to stay mediocre. It is a crutch that you use so you do not have to run the race of your own life. You would rather be a popular failure than an isolated success. But Maslow warned us that the cost of this safety is a slow, agonizing death of the spirit. When you prioritize the approval of the masses over your own growth, you are committing a form of psychological suicide. You are suppressing your meta-needs, your hunger for meaning and transcendence, to satisfy the deficiency needs of your ego. Think about the people you truly admire in history. Were they the ones who waited for a poll to tell them what to think? No. They were the ones who had the resistance to enculturation that Maslow spoke of. They were able to climb to the top of the pyramid because they left the baggage of other people's opinions at the bottom. If you want to heal this disability, you have to start by embracing the discomfort of being disliked. True self-actualization requires a radical detachment from the social scoreboard. You must move from the deficiency of needing a thumbs up to the being of satisfying your own internal standards. You must stop asking, "Do they like me?" and start asking, "Do I respect myself?" As Maslow famously wrote, "What a man can be, he must be." He did not say, "What a man can be, he must be," as long as everyone on the internet agrees with it. The climb to the peak of the pyramid is a vertical one. It is steep and it is exhausting. You cannot make that climb if you are carrying the weight of 1,000 people's expectations on your back. You have to drop the crutch of validation. You have to accept that your journey toward your full potential will be misunderstood by those who are still content to crawl. If this feels like a call to war, it is. It is a war against your own insecurity. It is a war against the part of you that wants to be safe and liked, rather than real and fulfilled. You can stay at the base, surrounded by the warm, suffocating embrace of the masses, or you can start the climb toward the thin, honest air of the peak. One path offers you comfort and a slow decay into what-ifs. The other path offers you the chance to finally meet the person you were meant to be. If you are ready to stop begging for a seat at the table and start building your own world, then you are ready for the next step. The pyramid is waiting. Stop asking for permission to climb it.